Hello, I'm Mark Hauser with BMC Educational Services, and I'm here to tell you about BMC Atrium Orchestrator. You may have seen this diagram before. This is describing our BSM initiative, and it describes the various tools that we would see used within a complete BSM implementation. Now, one of the characteristics that we describe with BSM is that you don't need to implement the entire suite. You implement what is necessary to solve your problems. Now, as we look at the tools that would make up the BSM implementation, there is this question of where is Atrium Orchestrator? Atrium Orchestrator is right in the middle of everything. And what we're going to look at now is not only where it's located, but also what Atrium Orchestrator is. Atrium Orchestrator provides mechanisms for automating your processes. Now, BMC Atrium Orchestrator itself contains a small tool set of activities, and we see here the activity palette. And from the activity palette, we are going to build these processes. And again, these are processes to automate your functionality. The processes are ultimately built using all of these tools, these activities within BMC Atrium Orchestrator. Although you may notice that there are some activities that don't come from the tool set. These activities are references to other processes that have been built, because within Orchestrator, the processes build on each other. With this ability to build processes from other processes, we can ultimately build a library of our own tool set. Each of these processes that we see in the examples here will make references to other processes, but eventually all of these processes will end up using some of the activities from the activity palette. The processes are also going to be organized within modules. This allows us to create libraries of these processes for our use. Within these modules, we can organize information within folders to make them more easily organized, more accessible. Within the modules, you may notice that some of the modules contain these abbreviations: AD, OA, SA. These abbreviations are references to the level of integration that's taken place within these processes. For example, an AD utility is a reference to an adapter utility. This is a process that is designed to work with a specific type of adapter. Now, the adapters are the way in which Orchestrator communicates with the outside environment. So one of the most important of the activities we have within our palette is the call adapter utility. The call adapter activity is going to, again, allow us to communicate with the external environment. And these adapters are available for many common protocols, here for instance SMTP, as well as HTTP, SNMP, JMS, along with many other common protocols. Before we leave this example, I'd also like to point out that these processes are very much like subroutines, that we can pass parameters to these processes as well as receive output from these processes. Again, this is what allows us to build these libraries of processes to support our automation. Along with the adapter-specific utilities for standard protocols, we also have adapter-specific utilities for our applications, such as the Blade Logic server automation and the BMC Remedy AR system, along with many other BMC and third-party applications. Another characteristic that we have within the processes is what's referred to as operations actions. The operations actions, or OAs, are processes that are designed with a level of abstraction. Here, for instance, we have an example of a process that is used to automate the retrieval of a process list for a user. Now, different operating systems have different ways in which they would retrieve this information. But that is going to be handled for us automatically by this process based on information retrieved from the target system. So this allows us to focus more on the process and less on the specific actions that we need to perform. These operations actions, again, are available for a variety of applications, such as incident management, change management, problem management, just to name a few. In fact, here in our example from the incident management, we can zoom in and see that when we are ready to create the incident, there are components within the process that allow us to either interact with the BMC ITSM incident management or some other form of incident management. So that again, when using these processes, we can focus on the general capabilities of an incident management system and not worry about the specific implementation. There's a third level of processes where we build upon the other two, the application-specific processes as well as the operations action processes, to build complete service automation solutions. These service automation solutions are end-to-end operations that will use a variety of the other processes. Again, operations actions like creating an incident or interacting with Blade Logic in a complete process. Finally, these processes need to be started somehow, and BMC Atrium Orchestrator provides a number of mechanisms for us to start these processes. They can be started through a monitor, which is watching for activities in the environment, such as an SNMP listener that responds to an SNMP trap, or a response to an AR system alert. We also could have processes that are running on a regular schedule, so they take place at regular times. We could also have a process which is initiated through a web service, so that we can be the provider of a web service and respond to external environments. And then finally, there's the operator control panel, which is allowing us to provide an interactive interface for users to select processes, supply parameters, and initiate processes. So going back to our earlier question of where is BMC Atrium Orchestrator within the BSM initiative, it is anywhere we need it to be in order for the operations to be successful. To learn more about BMC Atrium Orchestrator training opportunities, please access the BMC Atrium Orchestrator learning path at www.bmc.com/education/learning-paths. Thank you.